Obama on. Thanks for joining us. Let's go now to Aaron Schock of Illinois. He was sworn into the House today. He's 27 years old. He's the youngest member of the House. I want to welcome him on this day of pageantry. Aaron Schock, it seems to me that you're focused already on these huge deficits. I want to give you a number here that are going to be left to your generation to pay off, it seems to me, somewhere down the road. When President Bush came into office, the national debt was a little under $6 trillion. Now it's $11 trillion. This president we've had now has created more national debt as the 43rd president than the first through 42nd presidents. All the first 42 presidents didn't create the debt combined that this fellow produced in one presidency. How does the Republican Party regain its reputation as the party of fiscal responsibility?
Well, I think that, we're going to have a great opportunity this Congress to differentiate ourselves. The last 2 years with the Democratic control of the House and the Senate and the Republican president in Bush, there was kind of some confusion in the country about who was leading the show and who was responsible for the actions of the Congress and the president. But now with the Democratic president, House and Senate, it's going to be very clear about who's in charge and who's making decisions. And I think it's going to give a great opportunity for the Republican Party to differentiate itself and for us to rebuild. There's no doubt, I agree with you, that the Republicans did not do a good job when we controlled Congress with spending. I think it's part and parcel to why we lost the majority. Much of our base, at least what I was hearing in central Illinois, where I'm from, was frustrated with the great increases in spending under this administration. And I make no apology for it. I think that moving forward, as a fiscal conservative myself, it's one thing that I'm going to be talking about. And as someone who represents a younger generation in this country, certainly I'm concerned about a lot of the entitlement spending that's going on, not about the next decade or the next election, but the next 20 or 30 years, how we're going to pay for programs like Social Security and Medicare for my generation to make sure that those are sustainable programs that can be around when I'm ready to retire.
Well, there's no confusion about the fact that under President Bush, the debt doubled, the national debt doubled to $11 trillion, and there's no confusion over the fact that he never vetoed a single spending bill that came out of the Republican-controlled Congress. Where's the confusion? It was the Republican Congress that passed the big spending bills, and the president didn't veto a single one.
Well, I think that as a new member of Congress moving forward, the debate is going to be very interesting over President Obama's stimulus package on spending. And I think you make an excellent point that we have had too much spending under prior Congresses, under the prior president. And so that's a bit of a difficulty now for President Obama as he works to put together an infrastructure program, which I believe we need to invest in our age infrastructure. The bridge collapse in Minneapolis is a case in point example of deferred maintenance is too expensive for this country, and we need to invest in our infrastructure. But at the same time, we can't have carte blanche. We can't have an open checkbook because we can't afford to continue to have record deficits as we have in past. And I look forward to working with not just my Republican colleagues, but also President-elect Obama to help rein in this deficit spending.
Okay, well, you blow the wrist one, call us and come on the show and tell us when you see any of that pork barrel spending, any of that earmarking going on. You call us up and get on this show because we want to spotlight that even at a time when we need to have spending on these projects to get jobs for people. There's no sense building bridges to nowhere, including in Alaska. Thank you.
Agree.
And you're from Illinois, as you would agree. And you're from Peoria, right?
Peoria, home of Bob Michael, Ray LaHood, and this is actually Abe Lincoln's congressional district that he held for one term. So there's a lot of history from central Illinois.